about the show. Now, so those people who have been watching and following us, Laugh Call Text is all about that thing in the last 7 days that either made you laugh out loud, to call someone or text them. So, what is your laugh call text when you think about it? I'm gonna go with mine. Now, today I was in someone's audio room. I'm not gonna say their name. I know them, and those people who were in the audio room know this thing. So my last name is Kinsey. This individual sometimes put Kinsley on it. And you know how your brain sometimes you know exactly somebody's name, but your brain keeps like fidgeting and saying something else. So this person always puts the L in my name. So the co-host was like, "Why do you keep calling this man Kinsey?" And it's like a running joke at this point with us, like we're friends. Running joke, like, "Why you keep doing it?" So when they did it, I jumped out of the room and made them think that I took it personal. So I did one more thousand, two more thousand for 20 seconds. And then I came back. The person was going to text me, message me. It was like, "Did I offend you?" So I just laughed about it. I came on stage. We joked about it. It was funny because I know we've all been there with certain situations. There's words that get our brain stuck. And it was kind of funny because they thought that I like was mad and left, and I came back and we joked about it for a good 5 minutes on stage about it. So that is my laugh, my call, my text for the day. And you gotta laugh.
I love that. You do. You have to laugh at life, right? You absolutely have to laugh at life. That is a very funny story. I love that. I'm wondering if we might know in the audience where that connection might have been, but it's okay. I love that. That's amazing. I just want to say, you can hear my voice right now. I'm kind of hoarse, right? I kind of don't sound exactly the way I am. Well, let me tell you what my laugh call or text this week was. So we have a lake house, and my husband and I had some friends down who we haven't seen in, I know I'm going to give my age away, like 25 years. We met them on our honeymoon, which is hilarious. They're from Minnesota. Anybody from Minnesota in the audience? They're from Minnesota, and we haven't seen them in 25 years. And I am telling you, I laughed. My husband and I found photo albums of, we met them on our honeymoon, and we visited them for 6 or 7 years after we all first got married. They were on their honeymoon. And so we brought out old pictures and just laughed together and had the best time. And I am so hoarse from laughing with my friends and having such a great time and being able to reconnect after all of those years and just enjoying life together. So it was great. I also want to acknowledge Damien. Thank you so much. Damien, you just did a spectacular job of our opening. Thank you so much for the time and energy that you are putting in also to this summit, the things that you're putting together, and everybody that is in the summit, just the energy that is in here, just the posting that's happening. I mean, the momentum that is going, and people are just loving the connections with one another. And Damien, you did a beautiful job with our opening. Thank you so much. All right, Jamie, would you like to tell us your laugh, call, or text?
Yes, I actually was trying to sit here and think about it. So my text, I'm a Steeler fan, so we won the day and we're 3-0, and I'm super excited. So I had to text that out to my mother-in-law. She's like a semi-Steeler fan. I'm in Baltimore, so Ravens is like all over the place. But because I'm the only Steeler fan married into the family, she kind of sides with me. So we were texting back and forth about, the Steelers being undefeated so far. So
that is awesome. Congratulations to your favorite team.
That's thank you.
Good for you. All right, Camille, your laugh, call, or text.
You know me and the talking on the mute. So my laugh, call, or text this week, it just happened. I just told you all about it. I was going to do something else, but I got to share it with you all here on the live stream. So I decided to set up everything early just to get in preparation for today's awesome event. Turned on everything, kept on the speakers and everything. My children were outside, so it was completely silent in the house. And I'm in my bathroom getting ready, and all I hear is hello, And I'm hearing this man. I'm hearing talking. I'm like, who's in my house? I didn't hear the door going. You should have saw me. I was climbing on the wall like Spider-Man. I was telling him, like, going against the wall. Like, I was actually not even Spider-Man, like the Pink Panther. Like, slowly, because you're not supposed to run towards the noise. You're supposed to run away. That's what you learn in horror movies. But I was just so scared that the instant I was just like, hello, hello. And it took me a minute to click. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I turned all that on in the other room.
In the other room. But Damien's voice, because it's my office, it just echoed. So I was like, what? But that made me crack up at my own self at how instantly I thought someone was in my house and and how I reacted. That was the best part. Is I wish it was on camera. I was crawling, sliding on the wall. I don't know what that was gonna do to save my life, but I felt safe doing that.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Great. I love that.
So, you want to get into some questions?
Yes. I do.
All right.
I do. So, so those of you watching, Meet the Presenter Week is, it's comfortable. It's, supposed to be enjoyable for you guys. You get to know the presenters on more of a personal level rather than the professional level that you get to see them on LinkedIn or other forms of social media. So, we're going to ask them some questions about work-life balance, but we're also going to ask them some questions that, just kind of are random and just for fun. And so feel free to answer your questions as you are going through here. So I'm going to ask you guys an easy question. Do you mind if I start, Damien? Okay. So y'all know I love to talk about food. I love to cook. So here's my question for you guys. Do you prefer to order in or to cook? And what is your go-to meal? So do you prefer to order in or cook? What is your go-to meal?
I actually like to cook. Maybe because I don't do it often. I don't do it often, but I do like to cook. I think because for me, takeout, it just gets so expensive.
Yes.
It just gets so expensive. So, and right now it's pretty interesting. I'm really, my go-to is sea bass. I had went to Trader Joe's once and had the sea bass fish and fell in love. So it's like sea bass, and spinach. I don't really know what the other side would be, but those two things is like my go-to. And my kids, they love fish. So I'm when I make
love that. I love that. That's amazing. Brenda Lees, welcome. Thanks for being here, beautiful. And I love that. To cook as long as she's not told what to cook. I like that. I like that. Camille, how about you?
So mine is depending on the day. Some days, because I am a full-blown sports mom, meaning that I'm the Uber at nighttime. It depends on what my day looks like, my night looks like at that time. So I do a lot of prepping for the week because of that. So I do like to cook because I know what I'm putting in the food. I also know especially because my husband, he battles type 2 diabetes and he's very sensitive to food. So at least I can control that. But on the flip side, especially on the weekend and Fridays, I just like to just get something on the road. Our go-to is, I love the here in, I don't know in the States, but in Canada, we have the Subway salads. I like salads, and I create my own concoction out of it. Anywhere I could get a salad, even Wendy's has these amazing like summer salads. I will get one of those ones. But for the most part, I do like to cook at home. My kids, we just made I posted it on my page today, making some spinach pancakes that they loved. My husband, thank God that it made 16 because he ate like 6 of them in one sitting. But at least he got his spinach in. I know that the sugar is controlled, and the kids and we enjoy making some fun little concoctions together.
I love that. I love that. I love this. Thank you, those of you in the audience. And Damien will click up some of these things for adding your favorite go-to dishes, and do you prefer to cook or do takeout? So I love to cook. Like I do love to cook, but I'm kind of like both you ladies. Like I really want to cook when I have time to cook. I mean, I will cook to survive. And I do meal prep during the week because it's just, you would think when you're working from home, you would have more time, but you don't. Like it is just still like, if I don't meal prep, I'm a mess. But I do love to cook. And so what was hard for me when my kids were younger, because I was like you, Camille, I was the Uber. Like we had all sports teams, dance competition, all that stuff going on. But Sunday afternoon was kind of my day, and I'd make like a big meal and, some Italian type of a dish, I'm sure. And I loved it. Put on my Frank Sinatra music and cook, and it was a lovely time. The house smelled of garlic. That was joy for me.
I just say I love having Italian friends too, because I love to cook. And you know what I noticed with a lot of my Italian friends? They know how to cook in abundance. Everything's cook. So
Yes.
I'm getting some spaghetti, I'm getting some pasta, I'm getting something. And I have no shame in my game. Thank you.
Yes.
And speaking of cooking, one of our guests, our last guest that we needed to bring up, it has a very extensive background in hospitality and the restaurant industry. Her career has been building restaurants in different regions and areas, especially on the water. Her company is predicated on giving high school students the opportunity to travel, go abroad, get passports. She's the founder of Learning to Live Movement, Inc. She is also presenting at the Work-Life Balance Summit. Her topic is entrepreneurship. Stepping away allows us to get a fresh look at things. Please welcome Bianca Nelson to the stage. Bianca, welcome. We were talking about
Hey,
cooking.
good people. I know I heard some stuff about cooking. I love to eat. And I heard about traveling, and sorry I'm late. My niece, because I travel so much and I'm actually in my city for once, my niece was like, I do not care what you got going on. You have 30 minutes to get here. And I'm like, okay. So sorry that I'm late. On cooking, I like to eat everything, but my favorite is tacos, if that's what you guys were talking about.
Yes. Welcome, Bianca. First of all, thank you for being here. Yeah, I do. Tacos are a good go-to. Exactly. I love that. Damien, what about you?
It's simple: shrimp and macaroni and cheese.
Together?
It doesn't matter what combination of
That's a
you
good
would.
combo.
Yeah, my dad's macaroni and cheese, and my mom cooked the shrimp.
Nice. Yes, very nice. But yeah, takeout can be kind of crazy,
Yeah, I like to cook at home, especially what's going on in the world today.
Yes, agreed.
Cooking at home is always the go-to for me.
Yeah. All right, Damien, what question do you want to ask?
So, why did you decide to do the summit? I know a few of y'all did the summit before. Bianca went to the summit. Jamie, you did the virtual wellness summit, and Camille did the virtual wellness summit. What made you want to be presenters for the work-life balance summit, since it's a little bit different from the virtual wellness summit?
I am all about, I'm just going to jump in. No one said anything. I'm sorry. Cut me off though. I'm all about the work-life balance lifestyle, because a little bit about what I want to say is we forget to balance everything else that's going on in our life, family, and just not doing nothing at all in the midst of doing it all. So I was interested in the title, and when Damien told me about it, I'm like, yeah, I want to try something different. I've never been on a platform like this, so I'm all for trying something different, stepping out of my comfort zone, and just things that speak to me. Like I said, that balance.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Mhm.
I would
like
say,
that.
oh, sorry. I would say,
Go ahead.
I think it's just really important to keep the conversation going when it comes to work-life balance. I feel like we live in a society where we're always going. And so it's always nice that there's, you know, webinars or just anything to where we can kind of slow down and just, feed ourselves and remind ourselves that there's an importance, because it's so easy and quick to forget it, especially when you have, your day to day is so busy in itself. And so I just knew I couldn't pass this up, because it's just some of the tools that I've used help me. And I just wanted to share that and help other people.
I like that. And you're doing like double duty, because you're doing the mag too. as well. So kudos to you for that. Camille, your situation was a little bit unique last time. You did the summit, and you also had it broadcasting to everybody from work and getting them integrated in it. What made you come back for this one?
Because I'm going to do a repeat of that, brother. Of course, they loved it. I had to bring it back. So that's exactly why I wanted it on the Friday to present, so that everybody else in my office could hear. Because, we always hear about this work-life balance. I'm here to say life-work balance, right? There's so many times that we were built, and that's not the word, we were raised to hear about what is our career, what are we going to do, what are we going to be, all of this kind of great stuff, which is fantastic. But in the interim, we never ever were really taught, like in regular schools, how to nurture and nourish our own selves and having that self-awareness. So it's not just putting the work part of it, because the work is just something that we do, but it's the life of what we experience that matters so much more. That's why a lot of times we're working to build up that long-term lifestyle. But let's turn it around and let's start talking about the life that we're balancing into the work that we have, so that we can get playing in this thing called life. And so I wanted to do this again because there's just so many amazing speakers, so many amazing different, I'm all about diverse perspectives. It's like having a Rubik's Cube and being able to align them all together and go, wow, I never thought about it in this kind of context or that kind of context. And I learned so much from the last Wellness Summit. So y'all get your pens, your pads of paper. Make sure if you missed something, check out the replays, because I'll tell you something. You will leave full. So I can't wait.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you said that. So, when I originally, I want to talk about this just for a second. When I originally created and thought about the Work-Life Balance Summit last October, I really was talking to a lot of people who are suffering, right, with how do they manage working full-time, a family, having to prep meals, cook, take care of their own health and wellness, take care of their own financial situations in life. And and then I met so many amazing people on LinkedIn that I thought, well, why are we not putting all these people together? And that's what I love about it, is it's not really just one target audience. It's so many people who have families, who have children, exactly, that we balance our life with. What a good guy. And, it's so important. And so I love that. I think, we have just such a great, diverse set of topics for our audience and our community, and they're just going to benefit. And honestly, it started out with one day last year, and our audience wanted 2 days worth. So we did the virtual wellness experience 2 days, and Camille did share that with her community, and other people are doing that too. They're buying a ticket for their workplace, and we'll get into a little bit more of that, but that is definitely an option, and have it running in the background. And then there is replay. So you're able to go back to all of that and see things that you missed, take notes. Absolutely.
Definitely balance, because Camilla just parenting just now. Bianca is being a good family member to her niece, and she's out in the community. It did jumped on this. Jamie, yesterday, definitely the day before, you and I went on a call. Like, it's a lot of work-life balance going on here as well. So it's kudos to you, Dr. Farron, because I was a participant last year for the summit, and then now I'm a collaborator this time,
Absolutely.
If it's a year makes.
Yes. 1 year. Exactly. Absolutely. So Damien, why do you think that this summit is, attractive or, appealing? Why did you agree to do it last year, and you want to help continue, make it even better this year?
Last year was simple for me. It was great idea, just executed. A lot of people get lost in their head in a bubble of what if it can't be done, how hard it is, and how big the feat is, and they get lost in that. And I was like, when we were talking, it was just easy. And then as it started going on and on, I was like, okay, I need to be more involved and more supportive. And it's kind of just like grew after that. And this time, I was having this conversation with Jamie, and I was having this conversation with you. When I was going through, because we were looking at editing the mag should be out soon. If you don't know what we're talking about, the Work-Life Balance Summit magazine should be coming out soon. And when I was looking and reading through everyone's articles, I saw a theme of this person had the topic and what they were doing fit the need of this individual. Like, for instance, like if Jamie doing a topic that I need, Camille had a topic that Dr. Farron need, Bianca had a topic that Camille needed, and it was a theme of it. And then as I looked through the topics and I was looking at them, and I know the presenters and their history and their background, it's a no-brainer because there's so many different people from different industries that it's unbelievable. It's like beyond work-life balance. People have that conversation around, well, you can't have work-life balance. Well, work-life balance isn't work-life equality. That's not what it is. It's a balance. You're balancing your numbers, look whatever it needs to look. It can look 60, it can look 15, and it can look 15, and it can look 10. So meaning that it could be 60% of your work, your balance is on health and wellness. 15 is on family, 15 is on work, and then the other 15 is on your external relationships. So your work-life balance looks different from everyone else. And the great part about this is we get so many different perspectives from individuals from different states. Like Camille's in Canada, Bianca's out here. Me, Bianca, and Jamie are in the DMV area. You're in Missouri. You know, we have people from different places and all over, and you have different perspectives, different ranges, different communities, and it's so much a plethora of information to share. It's a no-brainer for me. It's like a one-stop shop of it's the Walmart of work-life balance summits.
And honestly,
you get everything there.
Yes, and honestly, how often, and maybe I'm wrong, but how often does your workplace send you to a professional development to help you manage your work life, right? And how to do that. So sometimes we have to take that upon ourselves. And so with creating this, I hadn't seen that really anywhere. I hadn't seen that being offered really anywhere in the field that I was working in and talking to other people in other fields. And so I felt like it's important. So sometimes we wait for our employers to train us or our employers to give us things so that we, can grow and learn. And sometimes they don't. And so we need to be able to take it upon ourselves to find those resources. So we wanted to put those out there for you. I keep saying but it is we, and we wanted to put those out there for you. And we mean collaborative with all of the presenters. They all have a purpose and, a reason for what they are doing. And they are all experts in their field. And that is something that I've continually commented on posts as, you're going to be able to see 27 experts in the field, their field. That's pretty amazing.
And maybe I could relate for me, when I was younger, I didn't understand work-life balance. I thought I could power through everything. And then as I got older, one day I was just tired. I came back from vacation exhausted. And I kind of realized like a change needed to happen. And I started looking at things from a different perspective because I was the young person I talked about this last 3-4 hours. That's all I needed was sleep. And I did that for decades. So, and you get to the point where it catches up with you, and then sometimes you need to readjust and do different things. So, what about you? Like, what is that moment where you had to like you woke up or you realized that, you know what, I gotta adjust some things.
Ooh, can I jump in there here?
Yes.
So for myself, there's two major life experiences. The first one was when my mom fell into something called a catatonic state, catatonia, where it was like she was in a coma. And as I sat by her bedside in the hospital for those many months that we were there, I kept on promising her, Mommy, when we get out of here, we will never take for granted our movement, our food. Seeing what people had to eat in the hospital for months at a time, being restricted to your bed, it really opened up my eyes to the blessing of what I presently have. So I can't take that for granted. And that was a promise I gave to my mother, who is thriving right now. She successfully came out of that coma. So I have to stay true to that promise. And then the second half was during the pandemic, falling through the rabbit's hole and really truly understanding that wellness wasn't just about the food, wasn't just about the muscles, wasn't just about the aesthetics. It was so much more of that internal, that mindset, how I just started to realize how loving into myself gave me that superpower to want to nourish my whole self in all different areas of life. So that's what really got me into this wellness, is seeing what can happen when you lose it, or if you could lose it, and not wanting to ever take that for granted. And then also understanding that there's a mind-body connection when it comes to wellness, and we are in full control of how we truly start to build into ourselves. But it starts with us taking action. So that's what I would say.
I love that. I'll just jump in. I love what you just said. Like, one, you're in control, and that's something that I had to learn. I learned the balance part of it all when I didn't have my balance anymore. I was moving back to Baltimore from kind of from Hawaii, but technically from California. It was a mixture of both. And my lifestyle was like a completely different. I had a really, really good balance. And I was moving back to Baltimore on a mission to, get my business where I wanted to be. Everything just happened really fast. I became general manager of a wine bar, and my business was growing really fast. It was just a lot happening really fast. And I was just on a real mission to just get where, quote unquote, where I wanted to be. Instead of, realizing like God had me exactly where I was supposed to be. And I was moving like 100 miles per hour, and I didn't have that balance. And at one point, I really just hit a brick wall and wondering, like, how did I get here? Like, why am I so tired? Why am I so drained? Why am I so frustrated? Everybody get on my nerves. Everything isn't working. Everything just felt like it was just going completely wrong. And I realized, because I didn't have that balance that I had living in California and Hawaii, where I was able to step away. I have friends and family around me to remind me to step away from the computer, step away from what's going on, go breathe in some fresh air, go take a hike, sit at the beach and just meditate for a minute. I didn't have that balance, and I really hit a brick wall, and I was like, oh no, I can never get to this place ever again. And I found myself, and I, figured out how I wanted to move forward, and it all worked out. But it's exactly what you just said, Camille. Like, you are in control. You're in control of how your life goes. You're in control of your balance. No one else can create that for you. Nothing else can create that for you. You have to realize, I do not want to hit these brick walls because it's hard. It hurts. And I'm going to create this balance for myself.
That was really good. I would say for me, it was when I had my oldest son. That's kind of what me, because I felt like prior to, life was a little different. It was, I did what I want when I wanted to, and it was like smooth sailing. But then once I had him, it was like, okay, I have to find time for me, because babies are demanding when they're first born. So, especially like, just the feeding and all that. So I had to figure out early on, because I realized you can lose yourself, as a parent, because you have that title. And I had to remind myself that I was a person before I was a mom. I had things that I wanted and strive for in life before I became a mom. But it's so easy to go um, down that spiral, because again, just the big change with taking care of a baby. And so and it was hard. It was hard because sometimes you feel guilty, and sometimes you feel like, oh, am I supposed to do this? Or so it took some time to like figuring it out and having that conversation with my husband and being honest, and then us trying to like divvy up and figure out how to implement time for me, when it came to like that work life balance. So
Amazing strategies, all of them. Thank you so much for that. The one thing that I heard from everybody, to wrap this up, and I know Davey and we're going to segue over, but is that you all took some time to reflect. and to see what you were needing, and to take that moment of pause and say, what's going on here? What do I need? And so I encourage people to do that. So coming to the summit's going to be amazing for people to take that time and grab some pieces together to reflect on what they can do for their life. All right, Damien. All right. So this is the Work-Life Balance Summit. So for you to join us, it is on a Zoom event, which is virtual, which is amazing. That frees up time for you. You can grab your tickets. We'll drop in QR codes. They're already in the comment section. The links are in there. But I want to show you all of the presenters. So when you log into or scan that QR code, this is what you see. I encourage everybody to do that. It's October 4th and 5th. And you will see that there are sessions. We start at 9 a.m. with a Let's Get Started, where we get together, hang out, grab our coffee, visit, answer questions, make sure everybody can get logged in. We've got some other things organized for that time. And then we start at 9:30 a.m. We have 2 presenters for you to choose to attend. But don't worry, if you want to see both, they are recorded. So our presenters are presenting. It is recorded. And when you purchase that ticket, you get 2 weeks of being able to go back and reviewing what they're telling you, taking notes, watch it, rewatch it. So that's awesome. And then we have a session at 10:30, a session at 11:30. This is on Friday. A 12:30 session. We have 15 minutes built in between, a 1:30 session, 2:30, and then I wrap us up at 3:30. The next day on Saturday, we've got a 9 a.m. session. And then again, we follow that same pattern of 2 sessions every hour with a 15-minute break. And then Damien does wrap us up at the end at 3:30. So encourage you to come to that. When you also are here, this is the greatest thing about this event, is that you're able to join the lobby. And when you go into the lobby, there's an area for you to chat. So you can ask questions, you can interact with the people that are in the summit. So that's on this side over here, as well as being able to go in and seeing what sessions you're presenting, or this is for the presenter, or what sessions you selected. So there's lots of interactive tabs for you. You can go through and you can bookmark these sessions. Yours will say join. Mine says start because I'm the organizer of this. You'll get to see your own personal itinerary. So grab your tickets, go into the session, start bookmarking the things that you want to get to. You're able to see all the speakers. Again, their handles are on here for LinkedIn, YouTube channels. When you click those, you can see them. Creative Living Ideas, my company, is the one that powers these events. And so you want to follow the Creative Living Ideas YouTube channel. That's also in the comment section here. So you hit the subscribe bell and you will never miss one of our lives. So we stream them always to YouTube live. And so you'll want to make sure that you can see all of them. You can go back and watch replay. You can see last times and some of my silly faces in here. But you can access all of the speakers' bio information on here. This takes you to Damien's. When you click on that, you're going to be able to see his page. So lots of great ways to interact with the speakers. You can also check out their bios as you're in here, and you can see them specifically, what they're doing. A lot of them have their email addresses available for you, so you're able to do that. All right. Anything else, Damien, that I missed?
Yeah, and tickets are available. Go to Creative Living Ideas website and Zoom events to get. You can get a 1-day pass, a 2-day pass, or you can do the pre session for the summit and get the ticket for that as well. And we are live every day for 8 straight days. This is the kickoff, so it is 26 different presenters. So many different workshops. So we're kicking off and we're going every day live. So you'll meet at least 2 other presenters every single day. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So did you want to talk about the network?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So 2350 Network is live. It is definitely open up for other people. Camille's a 2350 member. Jamie's a 2350 member. I'm a 2350 member. Dr. Farron. It is basically this. This is our virtual campus in space. It is definitely a good space where people can meet and connect. It is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and members can meet in there. We also have a off-campus space for members to utilize as well. Here is the outside. It's definitely in the campus vibe and auditorium. This is space, and this is yes, and that is Dr. Farron and another member, Erica. These are some of the perks, and this is definitely the website.
I do. I have it up.
Then we'll go to the website. I'm not seeing it. Oh yeah, I see it now. Yep. And this is the 2350 website. You can go to it, the 2350 Effect, and you can scroll down and click the member section and become a member. The application goes to myself and Dr. Farron. We look through it. We kind of go from there, and we figure out and try to connect with you. It's all about, we have lunch and learns once a month. We have leadership and lemonade. We're doing book club. We have social meetings. We have meetings every month. We have so many things going on. The schedule's right there. What's going on in the 2350 network, which also the 2350 Effect is part of the 2350 network. So if you're interested in becoming a 2350 member, sign up, reach out to myself, Dr. Farron, and come join us for the 2350 network and the Effect. And also show up and join us for the summit. And that's pretty much it. Oh, there's Jamie, who's a spotlight. She did in the mag, and next month we're going to spotlight someone else, which is in a couple of weeks. So we already have somebody ready for spotlight.
Yes, we did a magazine for the virtual wellness experience. It's still available. So you can grab a digital copy of that or a physical copy of that. It's also on the Creative Living Ideas website as well. And then we have a new magazine coming forth that we are just wrapping up editing with it, that will be available, we're hoping, as long as everything goes well, October 4th and 5th. So it will have our presenters of this session in it. So you're going to want to grab a copy of that.
All right. So back to scheduled programming and talking about the summit. All right.
I love that. I'm excited. It's just such a great event. It's amazing. I did want to ask another activity or another question. So while we're here, without giving away what you're talking about, will you give people just a slight taste of what your session title is and what you're talking about? If you don't remember your session title, I'll grab it for you.
I know it.
You've got them all.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Bianca, do you want to go first?
Fine by me. Without giving it away, if you spend all your time in your normal work environment, which is your desk, wherever your office is, wherever your normal work environment is, especially as an entrepreneur, you might not get the results you want, because sometimes there are ideas and people that you need to meet, and other opportunities away from your desk in your office. I tried to do it without giving it away. And you need to clear your head sometimes.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, and Bianca's topic is entrepreneurship. Stepping away allows us to get a fresh look at the work.
Excellent. Jamie's topic is planning your mental health day.
Yes. And so in addition to learning about the importance of that, there's going to be an activity to engage in. And so I'm really excited because I wanted this my presentation to be interactive. And so every guest will leave with something. So I can just say that every guest will leave with something. So I'm excited.
That's important. They're gonna, that's important for people to understand. You're not just gonna come to this, but you're going to take some things away. You're going to have
Mhm.
actionable items that you're going to be able to implement into your life right away. And that is something that, we want our presenters to be able to provide for you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Camille, you kick it off, right away on 9:30 on Friday morning. Well, 9:30 Central Time, Friday morning, self-care through leadership and community. So give them a taste of what that is going to be like.
Well, I guess there's no surprise on that one. But yes, so I'm all about community, that common unity, and truly understanding that we really grow and are able to amplify who we are becoming when we're part of mastermind classes of like-minded individuals. And when we are, we really start to discover that we are the true leaders in our own lives. So we always hear this leadership, like you take the leadership role, or that person is my leader. But what about the leader about your own life? And you really do find that, well, you are in combination with a community. So I'll be talking about the collective of being a part of a community, stepping into your own leadership in your own life, as well as if you are also looking to build any form of community within your own wellness, the steps and the strategies that you can also take so that you can build up that beautiful space in place where you all could collectively come together, use those beautiful masterminds of yours, and come out in the long run with less bumps, as I like to say. Less bumps than if you're trying to do it by yourself or trying to reinvent the wheel. So that's what I'll be talking about. And then, of course, mixing it in with some wellness and some of Camille flavor, a little bit of Camille rants. Camille loves my rants, my random rants. So we will be going through some of those. And I definitely want it to be interactive. I want it to be something that we can give or take for us all, because as I'm presenting and I'm also learning, and how I learn is through your interactions, your engagement. So I invite you all to come in here and be leaders of your own school. I'm thinking because there was a rap group back in the 80s. I think it was called Leaders of a New School or Old School. I don't know. But yeah, I just aged myself for any of those old back in the day hip hoppers. Yeah, Busta Rhymes. I Leader of a New School. That's it. I don't know. Anyways, you see, there was a Camille rant. But anyways, I'm super excited to be kicking this amazing, amazing summit off. And I just wanted to add, when you were talking about the summit too, for all those who are new to this, I want you all to know how user-friendly this platform is. That's what I love about it, because as much as I'm on technology, I have to usually get my 7-year-old to help me out here. But when you're a part of this summit, the way how Dr. Tanya and Damien have carried this and set it all together, it is going to be so amazing. That's the part that I was like on how easy it was to streamline to different speakers, go back in the replays. It was just wonderful. So I just wanted to add that little snippet in there when you were talking about the summit, because for people who are new to virtual summits and navigating, it is super sonically, I got a 7-year-old, sonically easy.
Thank you for saying that. We appreciate that. The only caveat that we always add to people is make sure that when you sign up with even a free Zoom account email address. So whatever you've logged into Zoom in the past with, use that address. That is usually our biggest troubleshooting issue with people. But what I loved so much that you all talked about is, you're going to give them some time for some self-discovery. And I think that self-discovery piece is something that we just talked about, and being able to figure out their why, and then find actionable steps to be able to add more joy into their life, whether it be, going to a career, or, how they want to work differently, or, how they want to manage their home life or their finances or their family a little bit differently. So many really great things that be able to take away from this event. Absolutely. Can I ask another question? Okay, you guys, I was thinking about this and I wanted us to ask this. So if you did not have to ever worry about money, what would you do and why?
I would travel.
You would travel?
Yes, because I just think, it's just, I guess because my there's just so much to see out there. And I think that, you learn a lot when you're in, that culture, and you just meet so many amazing people. And I just feel like the world is a big, beautiful place. So if money was not an issue, I would be out, like passport stamped all up. They probably know my first name at the airport. I'd be out of here.
I love it. I love that. I agree. I love to travel as well. Those in the audience, answer this question with us. So if you didn't have to worry about money, what would you do and why? Camille, tell us, what would you do?
So for myself, absolutely the travel, but I would add in, I would just be setting up a whole bunch of summits, speaking engagements, because as I am traveling and experiencing, I also want to give back. And the way how I give back is through the power of my voice. And if I didn't have to worry about finances or what have you, I would bring it into so many spaces and places where these individuals may not be able to have access to great opportunities to hear great speakers. So I would love to be able to travel the world and speak about, be an inspiration of life and inspiration of something I could giving back, but also experiencing the diversity of this beautiful world that God has blessed us with. So definitely, if that wasn't an option, you see Camille's face on the billboard.
I love that. I love that. Damien, how about you?
Then those people are wondering what happened to Bianca. Bianca was, she's outside, so she had technical difficulties, so she had to run. For me, I kind of would do what Camille said. I would open up my own nonprofit, help and give back and support people. And I would go to every football stadium to see a team play, and every baseball stadium to see a team play.
Now,
Because those parks are like really historic parks, not necessarily basketball parks, basketball arenas. Only the Nick Arena is really like a historic place, Madison Square Garden. But baseball and football places are like historic places.
Now, would you follow a team, or would you just randomly go?
I would try to go to every team's home games because every team doesn't play each other. But I definitely would follow the Nick. I would definitely follow the Jets and the Mets.
All right.
Those are my teams.
Love that. I think that would be very cool too. So let's see. For me, I would travel for sure. I love traveling, and I agree. The world is a beautiful place. And even with our friends from Minnesota, just the things that we talked about that were connected this past weekend that I didn't know anything about, that they learned from just being in Missouri. I mean, literally even just a few states away from each other, things that were different, wildlife, things like that. But I would travel definitely. And I love traveling internationally, learning about cultures and food, but I would still do this. Because to me, this is so important, to be able to continue, providing professional development opportunities for people, connecting people together with other people who can help them. I feel like I'm just a helper. Like, I want to see you. And if you tell me there's something wrong, I'm always solution based. I want to listen, but I also want to go, well, I could help you connect with this person. They might be able to help you, or I could connect you to this person. They might be able to help you. And I feel like that is just kind of who I am as an educator, always wanting to help and grow and teach. And so I think that's always going to be a part of me, whether or not I have the money or not. Yeah.
I like that. Do you want to do one more question, or you want to go with?
You can ask. What do you want to ask? Oh, well, this should probably be our theme. Don't you think? We always have something like, sleep with the lights on or lights off, TV on, TV off, or something. We do something. Didn't last time we do like ice cream, or I don't know. So what do you think? Do you prefer doing audio rooms or live streams? Audio or live?
I personally, I love audio rooms because, again, not again. Let me just say, everybody that knows me outside of the internet knows me as Cam's World, because I'm always on the go. So I love to still be able to put on my AirPods. There's so many times where I'm just vibing in an audio room while I'm lugging like sports stuff, a kid on my back or what have you, but I'm still being able to be a participant. So I do love the audios, but on the flip side, I do appreciate the lives. So I could put a face to the voice and get that human connection. But just for my life and just how I'm always on the go, the audio rooms definitely are great for me.
Thank you. What about you, Jamie?
I would like all the audio rooms too, just because I have little people running around in the house. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool, and I'm glad that LinkedIn has that feature. I mean, I know it's been out for a while, but I think it's been a game changer. And
Yes.
but like Camille said, I do like that being able to see people and communicate. It makes it personable, So I do like that component too. But just for the for my lifestyle currently,
Mm-hmm.
for audio.
Damien, how about you?
Well, I would say both. I have to say both because without audio, without me and Jackie meeting on a live, which is basically we was on Zoom together. I don't do the audio. I probably would have did the audio. We don't do the audio rooms, and they don't look the way it is. And I don't get to this point without the audio rooms. So I have an appreciation for the audio rooms because Finding a Purpose, my first audio room, we kind of opened everything else up. I get to this point because of the audio room, so I have appreciation for it. But it did kind of start with Zoom or a live event, and I do like this part because there's so many people who will never go to audio room who will watch this because they're not comfortable with being in a room full of people and the fear of raising their hand and coming up by mistake. They don't want that. And there's also people who will never come to a live event because they don't have the bandwidth and they can just sit there, do dishes, go for a run, and go to audio room. So I like both. It depends on the situation, and it's a good balance. That's my answer.
I love that answer. I think that's a great answer. I mean, I think they're all great answers, but I agree. I like the audio rooms for the on the go. Like when I travel back and forth to our lake house, I like to pop in an audio room and I'm listening to it while I'm, riding along. I like that. But I do like the lives for the fact that you can stream them to multiple places. And so that helps me a lot. And I like it. Like I do demos on Mondays sometimes for Ruby AI, and that demo, people can see it, and they can go back and watch it. And that's the other thing that I like is kind of that replay that happens with this and that connection with the audience. I like the lives for that. For sure. I also want to comment on Leslie's comment of buying the Opryland Hotel in Nashville. I love it. I think absolutely you should do it, Leslie. Once you get that movie deal from your book, totally buy it. And then we'll have the next summit there. I put it out there. I spoke the word, Leslie. So,
All right. So we had a great discussion kicking off, but we always end with. So we always close out with a quote. Thank you both for coming, lending your air, your energy, especially kicking off Meet the Presenter Week. Being a part of the summit, your contributions to the summit, pushing it out, and your energy. I don't know it, but your energy keeps us going too. So we appreciate it as well. So let's kind of end with a quote. What's that quote that you want to leave people with or inspired you?
Okay, so for my quote, there's just two. Well, there's plenty, but these are the two that I live by. And this is one from Sophia Bush: "Is you could be a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously." And I love that one because it reminds us to give ourselves grace, as well as it reminds us that when we reach that mountaintop, there's another mountain peak for us to continue to keep going, because life is about constant motion, constant change. So once we've gotten one place, once we mastered one area, we go to another. But while we're going through that journey, to remember that we are always a work in progress too. So we can be both and give ourselves that grace. And then my last quote is, It's not about you. It's not about me. It truly is about we. You got this. We got this. Now let's go. That's stapled by me. So of course I follow by my own quotes too as well. Everywhere that I go, we got this. You got this. Now let's go.
That was good. I was inspired.
Yeah.
My quote is be the change you wish to see in the world. And I believe that's Gandhi. I hope I'm not botching the name up. But when I seen that quote, it just kind of changed my perspective because we always can say, oh, this person needs to do this person needs to do that. But it's like, let you be the change that you wish to be to see in the world, and with the hopes of that, spreading and inspiring other people.
Excellent. That's my quote too, Jamie. I'll share it with you for sure. We can share that quote. It is by Gandhi. And I do agree. I feel like, that's kind of my life's work, right? To be able to be the change and seeing things that are happening in the world and putting good out there and continuing to grow myself as, a professional, as a mom, as a wife, as a, just a daughter, in education, all those areas, and continuing to learn and grow and help other people. So definitely that. How about you, Damien?
So yesterday was National Alzheimer's Day. I do the walk every year. I did the walk yesterday for the Cure for Alls. I'm going to go with the 2350 effect. Don't let 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt our 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. People get caught up too much in situations when people are not, like, people are just being human, and just people being people. Forgive, learn, listen, treat people with respect, humility, and understanding, and just try to understand that people make mistakes and people are just human. There are people who are living on this earth who don't have the opportunity to remember simple things like their names, how to put their shoes on, how to talk, walk, eat, or just simple day-to-day stuff that we take for granted. So don't let 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. And I'll leave you with that. Forgive, and life is too short.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you did that yesterday. Good for you. I just want to thank everybody that was in the audience today. You guys are amazing. We appreciate your support. LinkedIn users, Veronica Powell, Leslie Flowers, BJ Combs.
That's Tina.
BJ Combs, Jackie Hallberg. Oh gosh, I know Brenda Lees was in here. Christy Williams, Felipe, thank you so much. AI Chan Talent Scout. Jose, thank you for being here. Grace Lachelle Adkins, America's Supermom, thank you so much for your support. Lark Ambrose, Brian Bing, thank you, thank you. And if we did not get to say your name, maybe we didn't see it on this side, but we will check you out on the other side. King of Ajada, Brenda Lees, I think, and Lisa. Amy Powers. So lots of great people interacting and communicating today. Thanks so much. Get your ticket to the summit. Come join us. Let's have some fun.
And we are back here every single day for the next 7 days, meaning Sunday. This was the 8th day at 8 p.m. the same time, Eastern Standard Time. So put it in your calendar all week. Block it. 8 to 9, 8 to 9, 8 to 9, 8 to 9, 8 to 9. And we have so many other presenters coming. Thank you, Camille, for coming. Thank you, Jamie, for coming. Thank you, Bianca. And thank you, as always, Dr. Fran, for hosting this space and also being the architect and creating the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. And tomorrow we have 4 different presenters tomorrow. So check it out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Welcome to the 2350 Effect.
Oh, sorry.